Well, hello everyone. You have right here of showing right here of talking about with almost done right here, and you see the rest right here of talk about with the ducky right here. But really, what does almost done mean right here? And we might even say too that it pretty much means is to where that anything that you were working on, right? Showing of your progress and anything that you were working on, but still that how many of us would maybe even say that they would go ahead and pick out a picture of of a creature, right? Like everybody say if it's going to be a ducky or something like that, or maybe it could be maybe a horse, or maybe some chickens or something like that. And so you want to know too, really, what is the best way of how to describe is to word almost done. And so it sure seems that way that everybody might even say too that it's all about for anybody who's want to know too that really that do you think that anybody would actually like to watch you work? They would actually like to watch see you work, and just to see how it's done. And a lot of times that a lot of clients might even ask as to where can I watch you work? Can I watch you see how you do that? And so how many of us would even say too that that's usually how a lot of these if you're going to be a teacher or just somebody training somebody for a job or something like that. And I want to know too that really whenever you say almost done, that pretty much means as to where that you are seeing progress being made and all that. But still that so if we're going to be talking about with any sorts of painting or anything that you're going to be working on, right? And everybody might say that you go ahead and show somebody a picture right here, but then you go ahead and color this picture in like a, we got the outline right here, dark outline, dark black outline right here, but still, you go and show everybody, these white areas right here. So really, what exactly do those mean right there? And in case of anybody's want to know too, that it's another form of art, right? Another form of artistic drawings right here. That what you're showing everybody is that I look at these maybe just a little bit more of like highlights. That if anybody who's going to be watching you work though, that they're going to probably say that that anybody who's going to be looking at your work and that they're thinking as to where that hey that for what you're going to be working on, right? And they'll even say that hey that I see this right here, and knowing that when we do talk about almost done right here, that what exactly is it are you trying to say right here? And that what you're trying to say is that a lot the work that they want to see something actually get done. So could that possibly mean is toward that that the work that you actually saw from earlier, right? The work that you saw from earlier, that you can, it looks a lot different from what it looked like earlier. So really, how can you really tell between a finished project and maybe between a project that's already done? So like, let's just say that right now I'm coloring all this right here, like everybody might say that, if you color it white, it looks like maybe just a little bit like, part of the duck right there is being erased or something like that, but still. So really that, so if you're going to be trying to teach anybody how to paint a picture of a duck right here, and let's just say that, what you're showing them right here is actually the picture right here of the duck right here. You got right here's the feet right here, but still that, so what is a good example of talking about for almost done right here? And like everybody might say that, do you think that maybe most of the time it means is toward that somebody is trying to, okay, you're almost done, and then they would like to see watch you work just to see, what you're doing and how you're doing it. So how many clients do you think would even ask as toward, okay, you're going to go ahead and paint a picture right there of the ducky right there, but still that you're warned to where that you include a few white spots right there. And those white spots right there are another way of me stating as to where that, yeah, could you go ahead and please pay attention to this part right here of the painting right here as I paint. So as I paint right here, that could you please pay attention to this side right here, so that way I can show you right here. And I'll go and use the mixing brush right here, but you see right here that whenever we do talk about painting right here, that everybody might even say too that almost done. Like that's just another way of saying as to where that that you actually like, yeah, you're telling everybody that you're almost you're almost done with that task that were the toughest challenge from earlier. So let's just say that I'm like, yeah, I mean, I really don't even know maybe if a picture is a really good example or not, but let's just say, in case if it is, and everybody might say too that yeah, that if you're trying to show somebody an example of what does it mean to be almost done with something, that pretty much means is that anything that you were working on from earlier, right? And 102 that hey, that you're trying to show somebody and tell somebody that yeah, whenever something is almost done, that pretty much means is to where that from the starting point, whenever you first started, by the way, that this is what was going on, whenever you first started, by the way. And so really, why do you think that maybe from white to dark coloring or something like that, like everybody might say that you go ahead and paint the picture white for a reason? And usually I do that to a lot, because they say the white pretty much means is to where that that portion of the drawing right there is waiting, it's waiting to be colored right there, then compared to the rest of the painting right here. And so that's why it seems like everybody might say that whenever you're going to be painting that you're like you're trying to show everybody that from where you started and everything. And like everybody might even say that they would like to actually watch you work. They want to actually see see how you do that and all that. So I'll go and paint right here the ducky right here, but I'll go and paint right here a little bit of details right here of the eye right here. But still, it's like every time you think about that, and you're 102 that when we talk about almost done right here, that everybody might say that what you're trying to tell that person is that yeah, from where you started and then from where you're at now, and from where you started that it looked a little bit more clear and more understandable and knowing about what had to be done. And so that's why it seems like that why do you think that starting off with the white white portion of the picture before you go ahead and paint in, fill in the markings right there. And so a lot of artists might say that, yeah, it starts out right here with white. You go ahead and paint it down here with white right here for that reason. And I guess it could also mean as to where that, yeah, you go ahead and pick your choice of whatever color that you want to get to the duck right there. I'm like a lot of artists might say that, yeah, if you see an area right there that's painted in white type color, then maybe that could also mean as to where that, hey, that you can go and give it whatever color that you want, and then the rest of that duck is already done for you, stuff something like that. But still, whenever you do think about that, by the way, it's like you're 102 that yeah, you go ahead and do like the outline right here, but really almost done right here. So how many of us would maybe even think too that starting from scratch even, that you don't really yeah, in case if anybody's 102, that maybe some of those colors that for any reason at all that you would maybe think that to where that, hey, that I would actually like to watch you work. Watch you as you paint. And I know a lot of artists might say that they get that a lot, to where that yeah, you don't want to mess with all these colors right here. So that person is going to ask you to please can I watch you work? And so how many of us would maybe even say too that a lot of clients might even say that they would actually like to watch you work, just to be able to know as to where that, yeah, you're almost done with what you were working on from earlier, right? And so that's why it seems that way, to where that whenever you do think about that in your 102, that what does that mean? That means is to where from where you started, and then somebody's going to ask you as to where can you please show me what you're doing? So that's why it seems that way, to where that you get that a lot of times in your 102. That that yeah, you look right here at a picture right here of the duck right here, and at your 102 you got the feathers right here, but your 102 that hey, that why do you think that most artists would go ahead and paint the picture like this right here, and just say that, yeah, this is the starting point right here, and then this right here will be the finish line right here. So that right there, yeah, it's all highlighted in white right there. So why do you think that maybe most professionals may find that to be pretty convenient? Just because of the fact that yeah, this is the before and after effect right here. Before we go ahead and start painting with other colors, I want you to go ahead and pay attention to this part right here of the duck. And so that's why it seems that way, to where that a lot of professionals might say that they like working right here. Go ahead and paint a certain area a lighter color before they go ahead and blend a little bit more of the darker color in. And so a lot of times it's like, each time you do think about paintings, by the way, it seems like that really that I mean, don't you think that maybe that would be obvious, to where that a lot of anybody who's watching you work, watching you do your painting, though, and at 102, that, yeah, almost done. And what does that mean whenever you do say almost done? And they're saying this to where, yeah, your painting is almost finished. You got, a lot like, yeah, so almost like that, I guess it's another way of saying is to where that you're trying to get your audiences. I'm like, yeah, whenever you watch somebody work and watching when you're looking at the paint tools and everything, that you feel a little bit more comfortable with understanding the basics about how everything works, how things work, and so that's why it seems like that way, to where that whenever you do think about that in your 102, that yeah, almost done. And so whenever you do say almost done, then everybody else would even say that yeah, that you're able to show somebody some of that work that you've been doing. So in case of anybody's 102, that whenever you do say that you're almost done with this painting right here, then yeah. So it's like it's almost like everybody might say that that this somebody is willing to is yeah, if they know what they're doing, and then also that yeah, almost done. And I think a lot of professionals might even say too that that they prefer saying almost done, just because, so that way you can tell them that be ready to get your results back within a certain timing. And so that's why it seems that way, to where that whenever you do look at that way and you're 102, okay, yeah, that that painting that that assignment that you were working on from earlier, right? They say is to where it's almost done, and you would probably use that word and phrase just because of the fact that yeah, that is that another way of how you're trying to tell somebody that I would like to invite you into into the meeting room right there, so that way I can show you some of the progress that was made for what I'm doing. And so I know a lot of professionals, a lot of clients might even say too that yeah, that they would like to actually watch you work, so that way they can get a better understanding a little bit about what had to be done, and also about yeah. So if you're going to be watching somebody work on something, for sure, and everybody might say that yeah, whenever you're going to be watching somebody work on something, especially if it's going to be anything such as maybe paintings or some kind like that, and everybody might say too that that's another way of saying is toward maybe that they're able to. It makes it easier for them to be able to recall what you're doing, and also makes them feel a little bit more confident with what you're working with. And, so it's like, so each time you do think about that, you got right here's a ducky right here, but almost done right here. So I'll go ahead and paint right here, the bird right here, but so it's like, so every time you do say almost done, then, is that supposed to be another way of like any sorts of invitation about, would you like to watch me work? Would you like to watch me how I was able to come up with that scenario, or something like that. But, so I was just thinking too that maybe add a little bit more details right here of the feathers right here, but everybody might say that almost done could mean a lot of things, right? But still, that from where you started, and everybody might say too that could it possibly mean that there was more progress that was made or something like that, or like everybody else might even say too that do you think that maybe it's also another way for you to be able to show your clients, the people who's watching, go ahead and show them on what you're working with, and anything that they would like to see, that they would like to look at. So you got the ducky right here, and then I know, like everybody might even say too, that when we do talk about almost done right here, that almost done to where it would make it easier for you to be able to understand what's going on right here. So far as that, this right here is supposed to be a picture right here of a ducky right here, and everybody might say is toward a picture of a ducky right there, and but still, it's like you're 102 that picture of a ducky right there. But from where you started and from where it's at now. But on the other hand, that everybody might even say too that whenever you do say almost done, that it's almost like that almost done to where that we've been working on it. They've been working on it, and so really, what is really a good answer for like if you're going to be working on something, and let's just say that if you're going to use the word for almost done for anything that you're going to be working on, right? And you 102 that on average is to where that really that could that also mean is to where that from what you were working on from earlier, right? That you actually see progress that's being made, and that could also mean, in case if anybody's 102, that whenever you do say speak of almost done right there, that you could also mean is to where that that there's been some differences. There's a difference between what was already present from earlier, and then from what's showing up now, and so that's why it seems that way toward it when we do talk about doing working on anything for sure, and half the time people may say that really, what does Mike? Really, do you even know where the done point really is? And it's like, well, really that whenever you do see something that really catches your attention for sure, in case if anybody's 102, whenever you do continue to work until somebody sees something that kind of catches their attention, and that's why it seems that way to where that whenever you start seeing more results and from what you're working on, and for sure that somebody's going to maybe say that you know for sure that hey that almost done. What is that really supposed to mean right there? To where you're almost done with what you were working with, and I'd probably say that well, it pretty much means that you're almost done. You're almost done with with what you were working on, and but you're actually somebody would ask to see as to where we would like to see the results, and most of the time I just really think in a lot of ways that's pretty much what it means right there. That somebody would actually like to see the results from where you're at now. And I could probably tell you everybody too that I really think that in a lot of ways that that's pretty much what it means right there. Is that somebody would like that you would like to share some results from where you're at now and from where you'd like to go later on. So in case if anybody's want to know too that what you're trying to tell your client is that this is where you're at now, and if there's anything else that you would like for me to do from here. So this right here was supposed to be a painting of some kind, and like everybody might say that if you're going to be painting this picture for anybody in particular, and 102 if you were painting it, and let's just say that somebody asked to see they actually would be asking to watch you work, just because of that reason. Well, just to kind of get a better idea of what you've been working with, and for how you do that. So you got the painting the feathers right there, but like everybody might say that anything that you're going to be working on for sure, how do you even know that if the work that you're doing is almost done, and for sure that if they can maybe say as to where it's almost done, meaning as to where that there's been a lot of progress and a lot of improvements made from earlier, and so that's why it seems that way to where and I think a lot of times it could also mean as to where that if you actually like what's been going on with all the work that you've been doing, and like everybody might say that, do you think that anybody's going to be really impressed with what they see here? And you're like, they told you about what they wanted earlier, and then it's like, could you go ahead and add this, and can you go ahead and add that? And so that's why it seems that way, that with the bird right here, and people might say that hey, if you're going to go ahead and paint a picture right here of a bird right here, and at U102 that go ahead and paint a little bit more of the feathers right here, but go ahead and show a little bit of the outline right there. But still, a lot of experts would even say too that everybody would probably say as to where they actually would like to watch you work, so that way they can kind of get a better understanding of what you're working with. And so I really think in a lot of ways too, in case if anybody's wondering, that whenever you watch somebody work on something that they're doing, for sure, that do you think it makes you feel a little bit more confident to where that you're actually getting some ideas of what was put together, the different pieces of the puzzle, if you want to kind of call it that, but mainly just to show you that okay, this is how this works, and whenever you work with this color, and then whenever you work with that color, and so that's why it seems that way to where that right there. But when we're talking about using different colors, though, and people want to know too, that could almost done pretty much mean as to where that well, you're done for the day or something like that. I'm like, it can mean a lot of things, but in case if anybody's want to know too, that whenever you do mention about almost done right here, that somebody is actually telling you that that they've been working on something that you asked them to work on from earlier, or that if they can actually see progress that was made. So really, that you're probably thinking too that okay, almost done. That you go ahead and start out with a black and white photograph, a black and white painting or something like that, and then it's like almost done. That so somebody is maybe going to ask you to please show me what you're doing and explain what you did, and so I think a lot of people might even say that they encourage you to go ahead and say that, to where if you're almost done, you please explain what you did, and for what you were working with right here. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.